Welcome to this Monday edition of the Art Lewis Show. It happens to be Columbus Day, or in the cancel culture world, it became the Indigenous Peoples Day. We'll talk about that later on, because we do have open phones this morning, but we're going to start out with a broadcast announcement. Do I have a fanfare someplace? I don't know. Anyway, with me in the studio this morning is the one and only Charlie Rood. He didn't have enough of radio, so he came back for more.
I do not need a fanfare, thank you.
Anyway, Charlie is our content director. I guess that's what they call him now. Used to be program director.
I don't know. I was sitting in a chair one day and said, hey, we got this job that needs to be done.
And you did it.
Tag, you're it.
Well, as content or program director, you have the enviable task, maybe the unenviable task, of filling up 24 hours of broadcast every day.
Well, that's kind of you to say me. It goes much beyond me. We certainly have a number of people that are involved in decisions, including you. I mean, we look for input from all our staff members.
Yeah, they do. It's always been that way around here.
Yeah.
It's always been a good thing.
And listeners too. I mean, we depend on the feedback we receive, and maybe I should start out that way
because this is part of the results.
Yeah, we thank our listeners, as we have been doing for all 75 years that we're celebrating for feedback all those years.
So there's going to be a change, which you will notice starting as soon as.
Well, if everything has been done properly, tonight.
if everything's been done properly.
Well, there's a lot of things
technical stuff
that go on into having a show on the air, and I think that everything is done properly. We'll know at 6:06 tonight. For months we have, since the retirement of Tom Sullivan, back in May, have been searching for a show to have in the 6 to 9 time slot, which Tom Sullivan occupied. And we have been utilizing Our American Stories,
which we use on the weekends.
Yeah.
Normally it was a weekend show.
We were looking for a show that could just literally, we just need something to go on the air to fill some time to figure out what we could do in the long term.
3 hours worth.
And I must tell you, too, based on some of the feedback that we received from listeners, there was a question of what listeners wanted to hear. We know the programming of WSGW. Between noon and 3 with Mark Lee Van Campen Robbins, between 3 and 6 with Sean Hannity. There is a certain type of programming that you hear, and it has a certain lean as far as its political persuasion. We recognize that. We have a number of listeners who wanted to hear more. We have a number of listeners that said, we're tired of it. Give us something different in that time slot. Trying to find different things sometimes is a difficulty.
It is.
We heard from people who wanted to hear something that harkened back to the days of, remember Bruce Williams?
Yeah.
Or even, do you remember Clark Howard?
Yeah.
Consumer-oriented, helpful shows. Those are
gone.
If they're existing, they're few and far between, and generally on weekends.
And we already have Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey between 9 and midnight. Well, building up to what's going on, we have been in contact with our parent company, Connoisseur Media.
Right.
Which, by the way, we are very proud to know that we are now part of what will be more than 200 stations.
220.
Yeah, because Connoisseur Media just announced last week of the involvement of itself in San Francisco. So,
4 stations.
Yeah, so we have a great network of stations which works together amongst itself in some programming opportunities. And one of those opportunities is that there is a relationship that Connoisseur Media has with a man who started his career here at WSGW. His talk show that started here. In fact, you're responsible for it, Art Lewis.
Yeah, he does give me credit for it.
Coming up tonight and live between 6 and 9. There's another key there.
Is live.
There's another key there. It is live. That Joe Pags, who hails from the area,
Joe Pagliarula,
will be back with WSGW because he was here before.
Yep.
But certain things happen. Sometimes programs go away, but we're pleased that we have dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's that are necessary. Again, going back to, it takes more than just wanting to have a program on the air to get a program on the air.
And, while, yes, he comes from a certain political viewpoint, he's figured out how to toss in an awful lot of entertainment in the things that he does during the show.
Including his singing talents.
Yes, or lack thereof.
His musical talents.
I didn't teach him that.
Because he plays music.
But he does have a kind of a unique approach to doing the show.
And a number of listeners, when we were wondering what we should do, did ask for Joe Pags.
When he was on with us, we were one of the few stations in the country that carried him at the time, and now he's up over. I think he's over 200.
Yeah, I lost
count, but he's on a bunch. He's filled in for Sean Hannity. I think at one time he actually filled in for Rush one time.
I'm trying to remember.
I think he did.
It's possible.
But I'm a proud papa, so to speak. Because he literally got his start here.
We're talking back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
When he was here.
Absolutely.
And he would fill in for
Filled
you.
in a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And got the hook.
And in fact, remember, he even ventured into some journalist research and broadcasting with TV news that he did in the area.
He did TV news, and then he went to, if I'm not mistaken, he was in Albany when they talked him into doing national radio. And that was when he moved over to the radio side and had a syndicated program.
Well, he will be with us Monday through Fridays, 6 until 9 p.m. And again, live, which is important to us because that means between noon and 9 p.m. we will have live.
It's all live. Those are all live
Mark
times.
Lee Van Camp and Robbins are live.
Live.
Sean Hannity is live. Joe Pags will be live.
Yeah.
Now,
as opposed to us in the morning,
yeah,
we're not sure what we.
I'm sure there are some listeners that, and for that matter, speaking of because we are live, George Noory Overnights is live.
Well, that's true. Yeah, of course.
Which means Dave Ramsey, who is very workable into his radio show to be shifted in his actual live time frame.
He's the only one that's delayed.
The only one.
It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, we think. Now, having said that, I just remind listeners, and we understand this, and we've had talks with the Joe Pags people about this, and they understand it too. It just so happens that in evenings, that features a lot of our broadcast of sports. And in the fall, now we've got the Spirit, and we've got the Red Wings.
He's going to, right.
And we'll have Michigan basketball. Now, the nice thing is, generally, if one is on one frequency,
the other one's still on, yeah. But once in a while, we have sports conflicts.
There will be times that Joe will not be on because of that.
That's the nature of the business.
It is. And they understand that, and they appreciate that, and they're just happy to know that we can get Joe on as we can.
You can always listen on the stream.
This is true. This is true to a point. Well, it would be because I'm thinking the only thing that we can broadcast on the stream sports-wise would be SVSU football and Spirit hockey. SVSU never plays on the weekdays.
Right.
So that's a good point.
And the Spirit have very few.
Yeah, but any time that you'd have a sports on the air, you'd have Joe still on the FM, or on the AM on the other frequency.
Pags, as he calls
himself.
So
he is back, and again, we appreciate the time and patience. And for those who did enjoy, I heard from some people that enjoyed our American Stories for the very reasons I talked about.
And it's still on.
Yeah, it's still on. People just tired of, and I'll tell you, I will tell you, I'm one of those. I've sat in for you sometimes, and I've told people when they call in asking for certain opinions, I give you one. I said, but it's not an opinion that is based on any type of attention that I'm paying anymore. I'm out of it. I opted out. Don't need it anymore. I've done it enough, and it's just not my thing. That I'm going to pay attention to things.
Ooh, for you.
I am. I found myself with the things that I need to pay attention to. There are certain things I don't need to do so in a broadcast sense, which I'm not trying to take away from those that enjoy that conversation. It's just that there are those that will enjoy it more than I do, such as yourself.
Hang around a minute.
Oh,
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. We're talking to Charlie Rood and the homecoming, if you will, of Joe Pags tonight, starting at 6:06. Right now, you have a chance. And if you want to be safe, you need tires built for them. And there is a difference in winter tires, as we are about to learn from John at Quick Lane.
Hello, Art. Yes, winter tires are made with a pliable rubber compound that includes silica to stay flexible and maintain grip in freezing temperatures. Unlike harder all-season tires, which stiffen and lose traction in the cold, this flexible compound allows the tire to better conform to the road surface, providing superior grip and traction on snow and ice to keep you safe.
Thanks, John. So stop into Quick Lane Freeland, have them check your tires today. And while you're there, you might also want to have your cooling system checked to make sure it's up to the task for the winter ahead. And if maybe you're looking for a new vehicle, McDonald Ford has the full lineup of Fords for you to look at, and a huge pre-owned vehicle lot with cars for any budget. Quick Lane and McDonald Ford, two names that stand ready to serve all your automotive needs. And one thing about the tires, remember this: no matter what the tire you buy from Quick Lane Freeland, it's never more than $5 over cost. So stop in today. Quick Lane Freeland and McDonald Ford.
People.
With me is Charlie Rood. We have announced the return of Joe Pags to the airwaves tonight, beginning at 6:06, a live show from San Antonio. That's where we broadcast from. And let's see, Carl is on the phone this morning, so we say good morning to Carl.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
Hello, Charlie. I have a question about programming.
Yep.
I've been listening to United Shades of Grey.
Yep.
Except the last couple of weeks, it's been a rerun on Sunday night. Last night it was a rerun again.
Charlie can answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll just tell you that we try to have all of our local programming, the block that we have on weekends, including Kareem Bowen, who hosts United Shades of Grey, but he does have other commitments. Kareem is a very busy man.
And by the way, all of those shows are pre-recorded during the week.
And there are just some weeks that he cannot record a fresh show. We try and find something that we can replay until we can get his intent is to come in every week, but because of his schedule, because of his other commitments, sometimes something comes up at the last minute. He was supposed to come in last Friday, as a matter of fact, to record a show, and something came up, and we have told our hosts we understand that, because they are legitimately giving us some of their time to offer their expertise, worked into their busy schedules. So we do our best to try and give the fresh show, but sometimes you're going to get a repeat.
Okay, I was just afraid maybe the show wasn't going to be on anymore, but there will be new shows.
Oh yeah,
and there
absolutely.
There have been, yeah. No.
Those shows are going to be around a long time because they're actually very successful. They do very well.
Yeah, including.
Okay, and when is that on? Besides Sunday night?
Sunday morning. It's early on Sunday morning. At
Saturday. No,
I'm sorry.
Sunday evening, Saturday morning.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, because you're talking about the Saturday show that's on. He's on at 7:00 on Sunday evenings. Jeez, get your weekends here. Sunday evening at 7, but Sunday morning.
Saturday morning.
Come on, Charlie. Come on. What the hell?
6 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And Sunday evenings.
You're in charge of programming?
That's why I let him do the talking. I mean, why would I want to say anything?
I'm trying to keep it all straight. And his show is available by podcast too. We have a podcast page that you can get his show as well. So, and that is our intent, to try with all our local programs. We added a Saturday mornings. We block together all our local shows, and then Sunday afternoons and in the evening, trying to offer two different times for people who want to listen strictly over the radio, let alone get a podcast segment.
Okay, well, I will be listening.
Good. Excellent.
Thank you, Carl.
Appreciate it, Carl.
Always appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right. See, this goes along, folks. If maybe I should take a picture of it and put it online. Charlie Rood has a filing system. Unfortunately, we have to be careful where we walk or we step on his filing system. Because if I turn around right now on the floor behind me in the studio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 11 piles of paper strewn on the floor. And Mr. Root knows what every one of them is and where it is.
I do. What surprises me, or maybe what makes me feel that perhaps I am not alone in this world, is when you have guests that come into the studio and they see that and will say, "That's what I do too."
Yeah.
We've had several say that.
There are many. It's funny. It's funny. The other thing we need to talk about, and we've publicized it enough, but we do have new ownership.
Yes.
Connoisseur Media, and the head of Connoisseur Media, Jeff Warsaw, has been around for many decades. I'll leave it there. He's not as old as I am. But an itinerant broadcaster. He absolutely, totally, 100% believes in radio. And has been around long enough to see all the changes that have happened and probably been instrumental in some of them. So it's, for us anyway, I think the word I would use is seamless for the most part. We went from Alpha Media to Connoisseur Media, and other than the fact that our email name changed, everything else is running along quite smoothly, actually. I was surprised how smooth it went. So we look forward to many years of service with Connoisseur Media.
It is nice that, and how he does this these days, not just in radio, but in any type of large conglomerate of communications as a private owner.
Yeah, and what surprised me, because when they assumed us, it was, I tell people it was the guppy swallowing the whale. He had 14 stations. Now he has 216 stations, plus 4 that really surprised us. It was just announced last week he bought 4 stations in San Francisco. So certainly that will be the biggest market in terms of our markets. But he's not done. I think there's going to be more coming.
More to come.
I don't think he likes to sit still.
We're part of an ever-growing family, it seems.
Yeah, it does, and it's marvelous. We're thrilled about it. All right, Mr. Root, I know you have to clean up your filing system, and I'll let you do that.
Well, I appreciate you letting me invade, and again, thanks to listeners for their faithful input into some of the programming decisions we make, and even just aside from that, just for listenership. Seriously, if we did not have you listening, we would not be here doing what we're doing.
That's true. I did send a text to my buddy Pags and said if he has a few minutes to call in, I gave him the number to call, but he's busy. I don't even know if he's awake.
Yeah, doing a 6 to 9 show. Maybe he was up late watching the Lions last night.
I don't think so. But he is down in San Antonio. He does it. I think he has a home studio. Is what he built a studio in his home and does a lot of the shows from it. And I think he even streams it online with his face. Which, sorry, Joe, it is not like great.
That was Art Lewis.
Oh, he knows. Anyway, Joe Pags returns to the air tonight, 6:06 on WSGW AM and FM. In the meantime, we will take a break. Open lines for the remainder of the program right through 11 o'clock. 989-752-6111, whatever you'd like to chat about.
Back by popular demand, Herman Hiss.
All right, we're back with you on this Monday, Columbus Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day. We'll talk more about that. But to the phones, they're open from now till 11, 989-752-6111. And this is Scott in Saginaw. Good morning, Scott.
Morning, Art. I wanted to talk first on Pritzker there in Illinois, his disgusting display, putting on a flak jacket and then making a video saying, "Here I am in war-torn Chicago."
Yeah.
Well, since that man's been governor, there's been over 1,700 reported homicides in the state of Illinois. That kind of sounds like a war zone to me. 1,700 people in 6 years murdered.
Yeah, he might need the flak jacket.
Yeah, I'll keep that one. But it doesn't surprise me though that people in that party feel that way, because we have other Democrats, women, who will say, "I'm going to get pregnant just so that I can have an abortion." So some in the Democratic Party, and I'll emphasize some in the Democratic Party, don't care much for life. That's why so many of them can go out and shoot people, hurt people, and do what Pritzker's doing, going, "Oh, well, get 1,700 people murdered, so what? We don't need no help. We don't have a problem."
I am pleased to take credit for training you. You said some of the. I appreciate that. I really do. I mean, and you know, when you say some of, that's a lot more accurate than all.
Yes.
So I'm proud of you.
Well, it's easier to say that than argue with you.
Well, what fun is that?
Yeah.
I know. I got you.
And on the other one here with this Israel thing and Trump and the peace, I want to jump to Scripture real quick. There's a parable about the prodigal son, and we all celebrate the son who came home, the one that was out squandering his money, and the dad said he was dead and he's alive. But we forget the older brother. He was resentful. He could not celebrate. He was not happy that there was now peace in the land. And there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be just like the older brother. They're going to say they're a Christian.
I'm glad
they're a Christian.
Well, without getting into the religions, first of all, I am happy that at least for today there is an agreement. And as even many Democrats have done, I give President Trump a ton of credit for it. Whether I believe it's going to last forever is to be seen. There's more than 2,000 years of history which says no, but only time will tell. But for now, let's celebrate the fact that at least we have some form of peace.
Yeah, and I was so glad too that they released the hostages, the remains of them, and the remainders of them. That was.
Yep.
I'm glad they did that. That puts closure. But again, I hope people here who call the show just aren't that hard in their heart to where they cannot celebrate this historic event.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's people in Israel now will be able to go out and sit in their backyard and enjoy a sunny day.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Good enough, Scott. Thanks. Bye now. And here's Al in Bay City. Al, good morning.
Morning, Arthur. It was really a bad weekend for our Michigan sports teams. Between the Lions, the Tigers, Michigan, and Michigan State, they all got beat.
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The Tigers were involved in one of the best games I've ever seen. And 15 innings. It's unfortunate the way it ended, but they put up a heck of a fight. So it's on to next year.
What did you think about the Lions?
The Lions, they've got so many substitutes in the front end. I was a little surprised they weren't a little more aggressive on offense, but they shot themselves in the foot a number of times. I mean, the penalty that Goff took because he didn't set in place for 1 second before he ran out for the pass was a killer as far as I was concerned. And the other thing which disappointed me was the actions of Mr. Branch at the end of the game, for which he's apologized, but I imagine there's going to be more than just an apology. I imagine he's going to get suspended for some time. So...
Yeah, that caused their ruckus, didn't it? That thing at the end of the game.
It did. And he'll pay the price for it. So
no need for that in sports.
Nope, you're right about that.
Okay, thank you.
Al. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
989-752-6111 is the number to call if you'd like to chime in on anything. Give us a call. The Art Lewis Show, and we'll be back.
Gotta go.
All right, welcome back to the Art Lewis Show on this Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. Technically, the federal holiday is still Columbus Day. Joe Biden issued the presidential proclamation for Indigenous Peoples Day, but it's not recognized as a federal holiday. It is recognized in some cities as a holiday, but Columbus Day is still the holiday, and here's what you need to know about today. What's open, what's closed. All post offices are closed for retail transactions today, and you won't get your mail. No delivery except for Priority Mail Express. Some banks, Capital One, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, PNC, Truist, Citibank, JP Morgan Chase, all closed today. Capital One cafes are open. UPS, FedEx, all operating today. And it's a regular business day for the stock market. They do not close in the observance of Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day. The bond market, however, is closed. So we will hear from Baird & Company at the regular time around 11:30 this morning. So business as usual for Wall Street until late November. Thanksgiving Day. It's the next time Wall Street actually closes. Federal and state government offices, most of them, including courts, were closed today. Since, as I said, Columbus Day is a federal holiday. Some services like trash may be affected today, depending where you live. Otherwise, retail, everything's open. So there you go. Now, I am partial to Columbus Day, not because of any heritage or anything like that. I'm partial to Columbus Day because my high school in the Bronx, New York, was Christopher Columbus High School. And they've since closed it. A few years ago, they were in an attempt to control budgets and things of that nature. They closed a number of schools in New York, and my old high school was one of them, although the building is still there. But my high school in the Bronx was Christopher Columbus, and unlike other schools in the city, on Columbus Day, we got off. It was a holiday for us. So we all appreciated being at Christopher Columbus High School. Sometimes even went down to the Columbus Day Parade. But those were the days and fond memories. But that's the only reason that I have any affinity for Columbus Day, simply because that was the high school I went to. And every now and then I check in on one of these classmate things, and I don't recognize anybody. Now, first of all, understand my graduating class was 1,600. There were 5,000 students in that school. But that's typical in New York. It's not unusual. It's the way we